Can I open them?
All right. Now.
All right. Now, to start off, I want you to read these books.
I checked this out weeks ago for a bit of light reading. This is light.
Consider this your passport to the wonderful and quite unpredictable world of books.
Welcome back to another episode of Looks at Books. Today, I'm recommending Freak the Mighty by Rodman Philbrick. If you haven't read this book before, it's about two boys in middle school that become friends. They're complete opposites, pretty much. One of them is very bright. He's very small, petite, and physically disabled. He has trouble walking because he has a condition called Morquio A syndrome. It's a form of dwarfism. So his spine's kind of out of alignment, and it's like his insides are growing slower than his outsides. I think that's how you put it. Yeah, it's like his I know his outsides are growing slower than his insides. Yeah. So Max is the main character. He's the big guy holding him up. When I showed my, I taught this not recently in my 8th grade class, and uh, I had them like guess what the story was about just based off the cover, and some of them they couldn't tell what it was, well, like what the cover was, just based off of that. Like, is it a two-headed guy? What is this? You know. But it's two boys that, like I said, complete opposites. They become friends, unlikely friends. Max is being bullied at school because his father was put into jail for killing his mother. The author doesn't let you know this right off the bat. Like, you kind of discover it through the dialogue and everything and his internal monologue. But his grandma and grandpa, who he lives with now, they're kind of afraid that he's going to turn out like his father, and other people, kind of assume that he will. So he's kind of internalized all of this, and just thinks of himself as he calls himself a butthead because he thinks he's not smart at all, like never amount to anything. And then he meets this kid next door. Kevin is his name. Well, Max calls him Freak, and Kevin just goes by the name Freak because people have called him that so many times. He just owns it because he doesn't care what people say about him. He's kind of a smart aleck. He, thinks he knows everything, but he's charming. You know, he's got a lot of wit to him, and he doesn't take any crap from anybody. He will stand up for himself. And Max has always avoided standing up for himself, but it's through their friendship that Max kind of starts to change. He goes on this character arc where he learns he's more capable than he thinks, and they help each other. Kevin helps him become more of a reader and a writer. He by the end, I'll spoil a little bit. He ends up writing the story of their friendship. I don't want to spoil too much because a lot of it's a journey you go on. You'll you will maybe cry reading this book because it is kind of heartbreaking. Because if you look up about this syndrome, a lot of people do not survive it for very long. Max is unaware of just how serious Kevin's condition is. So there's a lot of dramatic irony in this book. Max doesn't know exactly what's going on half the time, and only finds out, after the fact. His father, at one point, uh, comes out of prison. He's on parole. So Max freaks out when he's told, because he's deathly afraid of his father, because uh, he saw his father kill his mother when he was 4 years old, and he's uh, repressed a lot of feelings. He still remembers exactly what his father was wearing that night, though. So when he's confronted with his father again, he tells him like, "I saw you do it. I saw you do it." It's pretty heavy for a young adult novel, for like a middle school age novel. There's a lot of dark themes in it, but I think overall it's well worth the read. These characters, very well rounded. The story is very well told, and there's even a sequel to this called Max the Mighty that's pretty good. I don't want to spoil too much because uh, you'll have to read it for yourself and find out. This is a really good book for not just for kids but for adults too to read. Uh, Max and Kevin really bond over their differences. Both of them needed a friend. Both of them were outcasts for different reasons, you know. And so this is a good book to really show kids that, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of person you are, what you're into, you know, if you feel isolated or not, you can always find somebody to identify with, somebody to bond with. And that's why I recommend Freak the Mighty by Robin Philbrick. Thank you for listening, and I'll see y'all in the next one.